Testing. No, Vincent
Or
came.
was it that Informark truck that just passed?
Good guess. Pretty good.
Brought my bag up. Just trying to figure out what in the world is doing. I was finding buildings for your equipment in several different locations. You know, it's just. Hopefully we can straighten it out and in the years to come. They're almost built out of the
I should hope so. Turn it off.
Maybe turn on the AC down. No. Am I in the right seat? Or all right.
Oh boy.
How are you guys?
All right.
How does a dog sign in?
Walk right.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking, walk the front, right, left, rear,
May the record show.
tail swag.
I kind of heard. That can do it. I
Sit
should
down,
have
well, no,
where I call bark rounds.
who?
Bark rounds. It's what you have when you're on a Zoom call and your dog is.
Oh, bark in the bark.
Not background.
Put an R in place of the C, huh?
I am just.
Come here,
Oh, I was hearing the,
come on.
the amount of time that some of the other cities budget workshops and meetings.
How much?
The one,
There you go.
yeah. They had 9 celebration just the other night.
We got 3 clocks.
Celebration is fairly old. They should have a long history.
You think?
They do.
I understand with a new one that you'd have,
Yeah.
No, I mean, the older, everybody is facing hugely rising costs.
Oh, yeah.
Having to increase. And a bunch of them in the last, I know increases in the last, and they're paid.
price of gasoline.
Sorry.
Good
All right,
God.
Tina, let me get her.
Okay.
The real people you gotta feel bad for are the independent truck drivers.
No, I feel bad for the impoverished folks who have to drive.
Gotta drive, yeah.
And have
Good girl.
no way of making it.
But you know, they,
I'm shocked we're the first one. Did nobody forget?
impoverished people can
impoverished people can cut back on their driving, but if you're a truck driver, you gotta make the miles to make a living.
Well, most of them have to pay their own
All right, go see Mary.
Fuel,
fuel
oh, yeah.
and rental on their trucks and all this.
I talked to a guy this morning delivering a car from Ohio. He paid $1,380 to fill up his truck the day before yesterday. $5.70 a gallon for diesel.
Yeah.
And imagine, we forget about this, people in the Northeast heat their homes with oil.
Yeah.
Heating oil is just like diesel.
Mhm.
So, you know, when you get that 275 gallon tank and the oil man comes and it's $5.50 a gallon.
I know, we had it when we lived in Colonial Williamsburg. We lived in one of the houses right on Duker Park, one of the old historic houses, and they had the big oil heaters. And we said, we just can't afford to fill it. We're just gonna have to, you know, put layer upon layer upon layer of clothes on it and just deal with that. I'm sorry, sweetie. Oh, no, that was a table. I'm
I
apologizing.
remember living up north and heating oil was under $1 a gallon, right?
Mhm.
I don't know, 59 cents, 69 cents, 40 years ago. Then it starts creeping up, you know, 75 cents, 79 cents. It got to $1 a gallon and it's like, well, this is getting crazy. Then it keeps going up.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of money on insulation, windows, doors, and all the rest, and it made a difference.
Mhm.
But still, I mean,
Can't you just,
the world just, you know, when you analyze what's going on in the world today, everything is delayed, everything is more expensive. Service at stores sucks. Restaurants service sucks. Shelves are empty, and we've taken to, well, that's just the way it is.
but
It's accepted, but
I don't know what it is. I think, well, you're right on some of it. It has gotten nuts, especially the service and the fact that corporations don't care. You know, they don't care about their customer. They're only loyal to their stockholders and their owners. And it used to be, you know, like take Sears, for example. And I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys are old enough, but Sears, if you bought something Craftsman and 10 years down the line, it had a problem, you just took it back, no questions asked. I mean,
I worked for Sears. That was the golden rule. If
the
something,
customer is always right.
when you walked into Sears, there was that gold leaf lettering on the glass. It says satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Right.
I remember working there, worked in automotive, which is a tough one because people always have a problem, right? Always a problem with the car, people trying to scam me and all that. But I remember walking in there one day and there was guys up on that glass, taking down that gold leaf label. And some of the employee policies had already been starting to change.
And now they want to sell you extended warranties. And I'm like, if your product's good, why should I buy this?
When that went away, so did employee pensions went away, employee working conditions got worse. It all went downhill. That was, and I remember it. A year later, I left Sears because I couldn't take the new program. It was no more satisfaction. It doesn't matter what the customer says. If the customer is wrong, get rid of them. You know?
Right.
That was
Show
the
him the door.
attitude. Show them the door. We got to make money. They made far more money when they took care of the customer than they did with the new policy
You
because
see,
people
the new policy,
went away and Sears went out of business.
yeah,
Because, you know,
really dislike the way everything is turned. But
but you know, you look at the world today and everything is just, we're out of stock. Look at baby formula, you know, gasoline keeps going up. Everything is terrible and everybody says, well, kind of the way it is. What are we gonna do?
well, that baby formula,
Oh, yeah.
I've lost.
Suddenly, it's okay to go get imported baby formula from Switzerland, all around the world. We can import baby formula, but we couldn't do it before that, right? I just,
My blood pressure is still,
Huh?
oh my gosh, it's like, I just stopped to have it checked again. It's like 211
No.
over 121.
your blood
What
pressure,
do they
Yeah.
have you on?
Nothing. I've never had.
211?
Well,
Mhm. What
Do
was
you
it
want-
when the EMS came to the office? 219.
do you want me to get somebody to bring you some diuretics to lower your blood pressure?
Does that lower it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
then
it keeps
yeah.
it really stable.
Sign
why does he go
Yeah.
to the doctor and get some pills? It's easy.
They won't do it.
with blood pressure like that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they want me to go in, I have to do all the tests. They
Well, of
want
course,
to look at my heart. I just don't have the time right now. So I'm gonna do it
you're
tomorrow.
gonna have the time when you lay down in the hospital.
What's gonna happen is your kidneys are gonna fail, right?
Right, and that's what my doctor, my brother-in-law said.
Here's some medicine for you. I knew it worked last time.
It did.
It'll be good. Just, if you need more, I got a pocket full.
Thank you.
You really 211?
Yeah, it was 219 Tuesday, and then it's
You're
been
gonna take, wait a
fluctuating.
minute, what are you drinking?
Unsweetened iced tea.
It's got caffeine in it.
It does. They didn't
Stop.
have decaf.
Hey, can you or
And the biggest one.
Melissa bring down my diuretic, the HCTC?
Because I was driving around in
I'll
a
get you my
stolen car
medicine
all the
bag.
time, I'd be high blood pressure too.
Yeah, or you can bring down just a couple. My beloved district manager who did not go to the doctor for her high blood pressure.
I don't ever want to sit next to you, you might
The
explode and make a mess.
diuretic will not help,
211, good God.
but it might keep her alive. I know, I know. Do you know where we are? You come, all the way down, follow those towards the development. And on the right, you'll see a sign for Southway. Turn right into East Lake and then turn right, and you'll see the model homes on the right, and we're in the Verona model home. That's right.
Hi. Just watch yourself.
That's it.
You know that you're about an hour and a half early, Pete, right? Pete, you know you're an hour and a half early, right? All right. Oh, well,
He's
okay.
here for the duration.
Whatever. All right. Okay. Sometimes it gets confusing and, you know.
Those are for the meeting, but I just figured I'd give one out.
Oh, okay, thank you.
For the record.
My dog is paper too.
It's just a diuretic, so it's no magic medicine.
No,
It's
that's
just to
fine.
take off water.
Gets me through the meeting.
But you've got to go to the doctor tomorrow.
Yes, I am. I have an appointment already.
Yeah, you did.
I do.
I mean,
Yeah, we can tell you're
you're
anxious.
gonna really hurt yourself.
Well, I went to the celebration emergency room last night because I was like, you know, I don't want to drive to Tampa and cause like an accident, right? So I go in, I sit down and she takes it and it's like 210 over 175. So, I mean, 210 over, yeah, 125. And she goes, you're gonna be put back there, it's a 3-hour wait. And I said, oh, so it's not like a red alert, so I can be home in an hour and a half. She goes, yeah, I'm not gonna die. And I went,
At 210 or 175?
yeah, I said,
She let you go?
yeah. I didn't even sign a release. She just went.
See,
Don't check in. We don't want to know.
That's what she
yeah,
said.
have a nice day. It's no charge today.
Right, so.
Hey, everybody, we're gonna start a few minutes late to let everybody kind of settle in.
Traffic wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be at this time. So when you all show the budget up there, Dan's gonna show it, and as you go line for line, I'll adjust it on my
And it'll show.
spreadsheet. It's not gonna
It's not
show,
gonna show.
unless this is the only other thing we can do. I can send Dan the Excel spreadsheet and he can put it up and
Oh.
you'll have to change it as you go.
Because I can do it on that computer.
Yeah, I don't want him to do that. I want him to be attentive.
Yeah, I can't share the screen or anything.
Okay.
And if I do try and log on
Is Mike
Zoom,
coming?
we'll have so much feedback that.
You have to say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Haven't heard from him in weeks.
Really? Well, they came to last workshop.
And Dan, that recording worked really well last time, so I'm not gonna record it over here.
Already started.
Deborah, she might try to get on the couch.
In case I
She
miss
should not get on
something.
the couch. I think Jones Holmes would be very happy with that.
Oh, I gotta get my headphone on.
As we're making changes, make them with me so we can make sure we're on, everybody's good.
You want me to do that? Or just do it on here?
You can do that too. Okay, that's fine.
Hard copy of it.
Testing. You got me? Testing. Testing. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the budget workshop. It's budget and landscaping. We have two major items we'll be dealing with in the workshop session. I want to remind everybody that it is a workshop, therefore no formal action will be taken by the board. We will be discussing and sharing ideas and getting answers to our questions and looking over everything that we have to digest, as this budget is a big issue, as well as, I think it's been, what, 5 years since we last did landscape proposals, so that's also a big item we have to cover. So I want to welcome everybody here. I'll take roll call first. Steve Berube.
Here.
Carol Castle.
Present. What is that noise? Is that you?
Is that me? I think it's me.
You.
Okay, Dan Lee.
Here.
Teresa Kramer is here. Mike Scarborough is not present at this time. So the first thing we will do is invite any audience comments. If anybody has anything that they want to provide us with, information, please step forward and we'd love to take your feedback and comments. Anyone on Zoom, Dan?
Just district council,
Okay, is anyone,
no residents.
oh, he's the only person on this?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Tim. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
So hearing no public comment at this time, we will go ahead and open the workshop, the official workshop, with a discussion first. It has the budget first on our agenda.
You can switch it however you like.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably want to do landscape first.
So I would like to go ahead and take landscape first for discussion purposes, as the discussion from that will have a big bearing on our budget discussions. So I will open the floor. We've got,
Can I just make an opening
yes,
statement?
I was gonna.
So you did get proposers in the summary, I went out for everyone. However, one was deemed non-responsive as we sent that out. So, you know, since you only have, is it 3 remaining or 4?
Three.
3. So you have 3 remaining. So typically, and Tim can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. But so you have a couple of options during discussion and moving into your regular meeting. the board can reject all bids and go out again. It's already prepared, so it would be a quick turnaround if that's something you decided to do, being that you only got 3. There's no guarantee you're gonna get more, but just saying. So you have that, or you can move forward and choose one today, if that's what you like. So those are really your options to either reject and go out again, and then, or move forward with one that you have.
And there is no, there isn't a likelihood of bid protest if we did such a thing?
No, in the RFP package, the board does have a right to reject and go out again or choose. Do you agree with that statement, Tim?
Can't hear you if you're talking, Tim.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So there's nothing that would preclude you from doing that, and it would not create a bid protest.
Thank you.
So as our district manager pointed out, we do have 3. And at this point, I will advise the public of the 3 that did and come in with appropriate bid packages. We have Cervello Landscape Solutions, which has been doing our landscaping for the last 5 years. We also have Juniper and Yellowstone. Those are the 3 bidders. I think we passed around a sheet with some comparisons as to the bids so that the folks here with us today, it's also posted on the Harmony CDD website under this workshop. So again, I'll open the floor to any discussion by board members.
Aside from like making any decision, clearly we've got Cervello, which is, the most cost effective. And we've got Yellowstone and Juniper, which are, if we went with, I think it's Yellowstone, it would, our landscaping costs would be going up over 100%. And that's just, and Juniper's, I'm sorry, Juniper's not far behind. That just seems, I know costs have gone up, that just seems so high. And what my concerns about Cervello are simply that you guys have been really having a hard time keeping up with things over the last couple of years. And we want to save money, but we don't want to do it at the expense of the quality of the landscaping care. So that's all I have to say.
I would agree with your comment about having a hard time keeping up, and it goes back to the last probably 6 months or so with the monthly reports where our management company reports that Cervello has, of late, they've become responsive to those reports, but prior to that, they were fairly non-responsive. My thought in coming here tonight would be, when you look at the 4 of them, you had a spread. You had one that was down low, which is Cervello. You had the high guy, which was Yellowstone. In the middle, you had Juniper and Greenleaf. Sadly, Greenleaf decided not to put in the bid bond. They had a note in their package about, if we get the bid, we'll put in the bid bond. So that became non-responsive.
Right, and I don't think we can really discuss Greenleaf here.
Yeah,
since-
because they're unresponsive.
Right.
So they're kind of, we can't really.
Right.
Well,
I wouldn't want to get too far into Greenleaf.
well, I
We
understand
would
that.
not want to cause a bid protest.
But if you look at, we got the package in front of us, right? So they would have been the next one up. So my thought was, you throw out the high guy, you throw out the low guy, and you go with the next 2 for consideration. One of them is out, that leaves you with Juniper, which is way high compared to what we're paying. So you're either locked in with what you got for the last 5 years with the various problems and hope that they become more responsive, or you pick the next one up, which adds $200,000 a year, give or take,
Right.
which seems way out there.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility for $200,000 a year more, you get the same end result, right?
Now, there was another, one of the things that we did was we had, and this is something that the board definitely needs to think about or address. One of the things we did to see how these compared was you have the one price with them doing all the landscape that has previously been done. And
Mhm.
then you have, as far as turf maintenance, and then you have the second with turf maintenance pulled out for the turf that's right in front of homes on all the boulevards. I understand why the developer set us up to do that landscaping originally. But looking at budget numbers and looking at these expensive landscape proposals, it might be time to look at ending that practice. We'll still have to irrigate because the irrigation system is designed that way, but the actual, and it'll probably be little to no increase. I know I spoke to the company that does the landscaping for us, the mowing and maintaining, and they said, no, they would have mowed that. It's not going to increase somebody's fee that they're going to pay for their mowing if they do that small amount in front of their home. In two of these proposals, it's not a significant change in cost. But in the, thank you. In the juniper landscaping proposal, it was significant. It was $125,000 decrease per year, which could significantly help. Which makes it significantly less than the original. So
How much did,
right.
well, they have a bid bond in there, so how much did Cervello pull out for non-ROW?
Cervello pulled out only, what, about 17,000.
Well,
So they pulled out 17,000 and Yellowstone pulled out, what was it?
$125,000.
They only pulled out about 20,000, not even 20,000.
Oh, Yellowstone, yeah, but Juniper, you're right, they pulled out $125,000.
And just to clarify, because I contacted our district manager because I think it was Yellowstone did not have a bid bond in their package that we saw, but I was told that you received a bid bond.
Yes,
with
there
all the
was an
packages.
original bid bond that ended up in, I guess I got the original and I returned them
She
to the
just had to
office.
look at the draw of all of you. She got the original
I
and
see.
it had all of them in. I don't know why they didn't put a copy in all of them, but.
Yeah, because I
however,
thought
did
they were going to be
provide one.
disqualified too.
Yeah, no, they did
Yeah.
provide one.
Okay, so if you don't mind, let's continue the focus on this. I hadn't noticed that.
Okay.
That is a significant jump or significant decrease. However, when you look at their irrigation system cost,
It's very large.
It's
I mean, still less than Yellowstone's, but
Yeah.
still
Way out there.
considerably more. I mean, it is huge. Now, the question is, we need to ask them, and I guess, are they gonna be here at the regular meeting?
All vendors were told it would behoove them to come to this meeting.
Okay.
In case the board had questions.
The meeting, but not the workshop.
Correct. Yeah. Pete, I'm assuming, you're our vendor, so you knew, but I did not invite any of them to the workshop.
Mr. Perez and I had some conversation about the irrigation system and how much it might cost to return it to Infomark's control. And it was hard to get a real number on that because there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff around, but
And our system is so old and it's major repairs. I mean, I could understand the $120,000 number if that included all repairs.
it's not.
No, it's
It's not.
2
It's
inches
2
and
inches
below. So anything over 2 inches, you would get a proposal
Separate.
or an
It's,
invoice.
and it's the over 2-inch stuff that gets costly.
Correct.
But even at that, if you added a guy at good money, you'd probably be talking an adder. I don't know. Did you and Brett have time to discuss this?
Yeah, I mean, based off of, he said that some board members reached out, asking about if we were to put the irrigation in-house and, we went over it and you're talking about a dedicated person to be able to keep up with the irrigation and, that person in today's market at least would be $20-something an hour, I think, and that's not even our burden on top of that. That's just what we would have to pay that person per hour. And then you tack on the Infomark burden, because we offer all the benefits and stuff, which is about 33%. And then you go from there. I asked Brett, which I'm sure you did as well, would it be a full-time thing? And he's like, well, yeah. He goes, it would be a full-time person, because in the new, currently the scope that they have, they do irrigation checks 6 times a year, or yeah.
No,
you
once a
don't do it,
month.
or-
Once a
Well,
month.
Well, no, they
Once a
do it
month.
every
Half
other month.
property, 1 month, the other half.
So for the whole property, it's every other month,
Right.
essentially. The RFP calls for it to be done, the
Every-
whole property every month, which is more time. So yeah, so that's what you're looking at from Infomark. I did not get numbers from Chris. That's essentially what it breaks down to, is whatever the hourly rate we can get someone, which today, there you go.
So this 58,240 represents $20 an hour plus another $8 for their overhead, benefits, et cetera. 28 times 40 hours a week times 52 weeks, almost $60,000.
And you have to remember that the report that Gerhard had given me when we turned it over to Cervello was that he had the full-time staff person and half of one of their other staff people,
Yeah.
because for major repairs, one person can't do it.
Right, and currently, we do not have a half a person
Mhm.
currently that
Available.
we could throw over to that, because the staff that you have now is fully doing
Yeah.
what they're doing. So you could add another half in there, and then you also, on top of that, obviously are paying for the materials
Right.
to do the work.
A resident contacted me and said that she thought that Brett was in favor of bringing the irrigation in-house, and I didn't recall that, so I reached out to him today and asked him, and he said not in favor of irrigation in-house.
Which is what he relayed to me. He
Right.
just said, Angel, coming from that side of the business, I just don't see how we, unless you had an irrigation staff, and I don't know what that number is, I'm not an irrigation specialist, he wasn't in favor of it. Could it be done? Yes.